Alrighty, I am sitting down with Bill, the founder here at Griffin Funding, to talk about why he built this company, how it's different, and what kind of people thrive here. If you've ever wondered what it would really look like to work here, this video is for you. Bill, thanks for coming on. First question for you is, what inspired you to start Griffin Funding, and what problem were you determined to solve?
So in 2013, we were still recovering from the Great Recession. The entire mortgage industry blew up in 2007, 2008. And so it was really just housing was really starting to get going again. So we wanted to establish a niche within the market, and we wanted to ensure that we had our marketing dialed in, that we marketed to niches within the business, within the industry. We really, if you guys have read that book, The Blue Ocean Strategy, we really wanted to go after a blue ocean opposed to the red ocean where everybody's competing. It's just like a commodity. And we wanted to be able to differentiate ourselves in the market in order to have a competitive advantage opposed to, just everyone selling vanilla ice cream. And that's really what set us apart. Starting in 2013 as a broker, then we became a non-delegated correspondent in 2015 with our first warehouse facility. In 2017, we started to do marketing for non-QM and really get a niche within the non-QM business. And in 2020, obviously, those were 2020 and 2021 were the two greatest years in the mortgage industry. And we started the company focused in on VA loans, focused in on veterans and helping veterans all across the country. So in 2021, obviously, we were able to help veterans refinance or cash out or buy homes at 2.75, 2.25, and some even at 1.75%. But throughout that whole time, we wanted to ensure that we were diverse and that this party could end at any time. And a lot of our competitors were not prepared for the party ending at any time because I got started in the business in 2001 and I went through the boom of 2001 to 2007. And I know exactly what not to do based on that experience and what things happened with my former company that I could take that really did work and that we could apply in this company. So learning what not to do and what to do is super important. And we just wanted to stay diverse through 2020 and 2021 when the music stopped and when the rug got pulled underneath everybody. And we were just prepared. What's the saying? When opportunity and preparation meet, it's called luck. So we were just always prepared for the music to stop. And we wanted to ensure we were diversified with non-QM. And then when the market pivoted in 2022 and interest rates went from 3% to 8% like overnight, we were able to pivot very quickly into the non-QM niche. So today our business is 80-90% non-QM, which about half of that is bank statement loans, which you and I have done a couple videos on that. And then of course, DSCR loans for real estate investors. We've done some videos on that as well. And then HELOCs and HE loans for home equity are really popular right now. And so our marketing machine has been turned on since 2017 for non-QM. So we're the number one consumer direct non-QM lender in the country. And we're the only ones that are able to generate non-QM leads at scale. And, that's why a lot of loan originators, a lot of processors, a lot of people that are struggling to get a loan in the door right now are coming to work for Griffin Funding because, really we're a marketing company first that happens to do mortgages. And we're able to drive these leads in the door. So being 100% consumer direct, it's unlike retail where they're regional or they're just based to a city and they have relationships with CPAs or financial planners or bookkeepers or realtors locally, and they're relying on those referral sources to give them business. And so, real estate right now in the country, it's like we talked about in the last video, some areas are really hot, some are really cold. What if you're in a cold area and you live in, some city in Florida that's not doing well right now, or Austin, Texas, and you're relying on your local business, your local realtors, whereas with Griffin Funding, you have a national footprint. We're licensed in 48 states plus DC. We can do DSCR loans in all 50 states plus DC. So there's a lot of competitive advantages that loan officers and even processors and mortgage operations people have by joining our platform. In 2020, when the big boom hit, we were a non-delegated lender with one warehouse line. And we wanted to ensure that that does not happen again. When the refi boom comes, which it will come, the longer rates are higher, the bigger the refi boom will be. The more people at higher rates, the more people that will want to get out of those rates. And so we want to be prepared for a refi boom. So we have 5 warehouse facilities for $59.5 million in capacity that can be turned 3 times per month. So I think that's what, 170 million plus in funding capacity so that we can serve 170, 180 million dollars worth of loans every single month with those 5 facilities that we have to be able to get loans in the door, process them very, very quickly. Whereas in 2020, it was taking us 60 to 90 days to fund a loan because we were having to rely on lenders that we were brokering the loans to or investors that were underwriting the loans for us. And so we were at the mercy of them. Please, please, please fund our loans. Please make sure we continue to get 5-star reviews because we're taking forever. So now we have that control as a fully delegated lender that can underwrite the files. We have that full control. And that's why an independent mortgage banker, an IMB that has a platform that has AI is very, very attractive to loan officers, processors, mortgage operations people to be able to scale across the country. Like we're one of the only companies that's profiting right now. There's barely any mortgage companies profiting. And I don't know if you want to join a company that's a profitable company. I do. I want to work with a company that's winning and that's profitable. So we're a profitable company. We're also a growing company and we're scaling and we're investing in that scale. So not a lot of companies are scaling right now. Not a lot of companies are growing. A lot of companies are just sitting there, wait and seeing or cutting at this point. So super excited to be part of the Griffin Funding opportunity. I'm 100% obsessed with constantly improving our company, constantly improving our systems, constantly improving our onboarding, our training, our products, our programs, our pricing, the investors that we sell our loans to, the money sources that buy these loans, all those relationships of 23, 24 plus years in the business, being able to have that competitive advantage to just dominate in this market when no one else is dominating is great. It says a lot. It says that we have something very, very special here and we're looking for high performers to join this team that align with our 5 core values, which are super important to us. If you're incongruent with those core values, then it's not a fit for you. So the core values are on our website. You can go over them in detail, but we essentially run the company, or we do run the company on EOS. So EOS is our operating system. It's called the Entrepreneurial Operating System. You've probably heard of the book, How to Be a Great Boss. You've probably heard of the book of What the Heck is EOS, or the book Traction. That is a proven model that a lot of successful businesses use in order to scale and be successful. So we use EOS, and when we interview people, we use what's called a people analyzer. So we'll analyze them and their experience and certain stories they have about their experience in business, and we'll analyze that against our 5 core values. So we'll have them give us an example of, when is a time that you've really committed to caring about a client? When's the time that you really committed to 5-star service? And we'll have them share something about that. And we can tell, are they a plus minus, or a minus? So if they're a plus, they're always caring about their client. They're always going above and beyond. They're always delivering and bleeding 5-star reviews. A plus minus is sometimes. And then a minus is, I don't care. I'm a transactional person. I want to make money. I don't care about the customer. Okay, that's a minus, you're out. So we'll accept people with 2 plus minuses if we think that we can get them on the bus in the right seat on the bus and that we can coach them up. But if they have more than 2 plus minuses, it's not a fit. Ideally, somebody has all pluses for all 5 stars. So it's really, really important if you read any of these core values on the website and they don't resonate with you, like no way, then you shouldn't even apply. Own your impact. That's a super important one on there because, it's like the Wells Fargo employee. Unfortunately, I'm not speaking ill of the dead, but died in the cube for 3 days and no one noticed. So here you can't fly under the radar. You can't hide. You have to stand out. You have to make an impact. You have to be noticed. Every person in the company, it's a small entrepreneurial, nimble company, which the reason we're successful is because we're able to adapt. We're able to pivot and change with this ever evolving market very, very quickly. And if you're not able to own your impact and make a difference in your individual seat, you'll quickly be pressure squeezed out of here because you can't just go around and hide like in a large organization. And some people like that. They like to say, I'm just part of a big company and I don't need to get recognition. I don't need to stand out. I don't need to make an impact. I don't want to be responsible for like this project that has to happen or this sale that has to close or whatever. And they just want to do their work and not make an impact. So making an impact here at Griffin Funding is super important. That's one of the 5 core values.
Amazing. Yeah, this is all awesome stuff. Would it be crazy if we went out to the floor right now and actually got to maybe say what's up to a handful of your superstar employees?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully
we got the floor behind you. Let's go say hey to some people.
Hopefully they're calling all their leads because we have a ton of leads, which is great. I was talking to actually one of our guys, maybe he's available to tell us the story or not, but I was talking to him the other day and I said, okay, you came from a large consumer direct lender. I won't name any names, but that large company is here in Scottsdale. And I said, how is the leads? And he said, well, the ISAs or the SDRs would transfer me about 30 leads a day. And these people just barely had a pulse. And one out of the 30 I could actually talk to and qualify, and they actually qualified for a loan. Whereas like here, I'm getting 5 to 7 hot, new, fresh leads a day. Most of them are non-QM leads or HELOC leads. And I'm able to, on addition to that, I'm getting 4 or 5 transfers from ISAs, and every single person that I'm talking to wants a loan. So I was like, that's pretty cool. So
We got to hear from him.
yeah, we'll hear some. Cody, you on the phone? Yeah, he's on the phone. No, you're not. No, this is Cody.
Hello.
Cody, you should be on the phone. What the heck?
Yeah. So Cody, we're doing a recruiting video.
Okay.
So why should people work at Griffin Funding?
Ooh, great question. If you like to have loan programs in a high rate environment and make money, you should come to Griffin. I love it here. Been here for almost 3 years. Never a second that I would ever leave. So very
Amazing.
thankful. Yeah.
Awesome. Guy, are you on the phone? Okay. Sorry, he's eating a sandwich. We're going to put you on the spot. So why we're doing a recruiting video? Why would someone work at Griffin Funding? Not just Scottsdale, could be the San Diego office, could be the Orange County office.
Because we have so many leads, you'll be turning leads away. And we can fund loans that other lenders can't fund. So you can tell clients yes more often.
Awesome. Ashley's over there. We'll say working away. But Steve, why did you left? Are you on the phone? Oh, he's on the phone. Okay. So there's your little tour.
Awesome. Looks like a great group too.
Yeah.
If you had to wrap up the culture in like a couple words, how would you describe how it feels to work and, be leading Griffin Funding culture-wise?
Yeah. So I think that, you look at the core values and what's the culture that goes on top of those core values. So really it's about being a performance-driven culture that everybody wants to step up. There was that video by Nick Saban, and he's a college coach, and he was talking about high performers, high achievers don't like mediocre people. And mediocre people don't like high achievers and high performers. So really, there's not a lot of room for mediocre people. And that's really what the culture is everybody every single day comes in here to try to get 1% better every single day. We're constantly iterating. We're constantly improving. As my friend Tony Robbins says, canny, constant and never ending improvement. That's really what the culture is about. Of course, it's about helping clients. It's about really, truly, truly caring in today's world where, everyone's scrolling through Instagram all day long. If you simply just take 2 seconds to say, sir, I just put my phone down. I closed all my tabs out. I really want to hear what you're saying and concentrate 100% on what you're saying. If you give somebody just a millimeter more of attention and listen to them a millimeter more than everybody else who is distracted, they're going to know that you truly care. And that's what it's about. It's not about doing transactions. It's about creating a true relationship where you truly care, where they see you as an advisor, not a salesperson. They see you as a fiduciary that is out for their best interest, that you're not trying to make a commission and slam a loan through the door. So at the end of the day, we all want to work together and set a set of standards with a core focus that we all stay accountable to so we can scale. Because without accountability, without standards, without consistency, you can't scale. And so I'm obsessed with providing the best leads on the planet for loan officers. I'm absolutely obsessed with that. I'm obsessed with driving the best leads possible for loan officers. And secondly, of course, providing the best opportunity for mortgage professionals with this company. So we have a unique company, a unique platform, a solid platform. We're capitalized, and we're really looking for the best of the best, high achievers, high performers to fit into this culture. We're not perfect. We obviously make mistakes. There's things that we've learned from. We've been in business 11 years. You probably work with so many small businesses. You've probably heard this stat. I think that, 95% of businesses fail within the first 5 years, and within the first 10 years, 99% fail. So we're like, I don't know the exact stat. We can pull it up and show it on the video, but we're like one of the lucky 1% that has constantly ensured that survival of the fittest. Charles Darwin, it's not the strongest of species. It's the most nimble and the ones that are adapting to change and being able to pivot and learn from the 2007 days of what not to do, learn how to diversify, learn how to go after niches, learn how to market, learn how to build a great team. And, mortgages sometimes can be boring, but for me, what excites me and keeps me passionate every day is the people that I work with that are just awesome. There's just awesome group of people who work here, and some people work 14 hours a day here, and some people bleed it, and it's just their life, which is awesome, and just super blessed to work with really, really hardworking people and some really, really, really smart people, way smarter than me. So
Awesome. If someone wants to apply and learn a little bit more about how they could potentially join the team, where's the best place for them to go?
So they can go to griffinfunding.com. You'll click on the careers page and it'll show all of our open positions and you can apply right through our ATS. And one of our 3 recruiters, whether that's Tyler or Colby or Travis, will get you set up on the process, the interview process, the onboarding process. Be ready for the 5 questions about the five core values. And that's how you get started with us. And you can definitely have a confidential conversation that's off the record. I get a lot of people looking for opportunity on LinkedIn. They'll DM me on LinkedIn. So I do check my LinkedIn, even though it's a lot of spam in there. But you could also DM me directly and I can make sure you get set up with the right person to see if Griffin Funding is the right opportunity for you.
Great. Thanks, Bill.